Information is free.
The law.
There is hope.
I'm Rick Dinsmore. This is the American Martial Arts Podcast. Episode number 2. Today we have a very special guest interview. Sifu Rob Campbell from Phoenix Rising Kung Fu Sansu in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Sifu Rob has been traveling the country and studying and learning about traditional martial arts, and he has some very interesting experiences to share with us. Today in 2016, as I close in on 40 years in Kung Fu Sansu, the greatest martial art the world has ever known, I'm taking a breath after another successful promotions cycle and reflecting upon the state of our art and all the traditional martial arts. After Lo Sifu Chinsu Dek passed in 1991, there was a lot of chaos in our art, followed by a period of languishing. Even some senior masters drifted away into other arts, like they were searching for something they felt they needed. My feeling about that was that they were mistaking their own limitations for limitations in our art. And without a voice they respected, they were no longer able to look deeper into the things they already knew. These problems seemed exacerbated by the advent of social media, which gave negative voices a kind of megaphone to attack all the things they didn't really understand. Lately, I've begun to see some signs of hope, though. A new generation of very serious students are taking another look at the origins of our art, the purposes of the art, what it was designed for, and the underlying principles that make it work. It's very encouraging to see them react with such wonder as they discover the power and magic in Jimmy Wu's family art. Master Wu openly feared that Sansu would die with him, and for a while it seemed like that might be true. But today, Jimmy's voice is echoing across time, and the wondrous art he gave us is speaking even more loudly across the centuries and touching yet another generation of Kung Fu sons and daughters of Jimmy H. Wu. Well, now we'll hear from Sifu Campbell. He's had a pretty amazing journey in the arts, and he'll tell us all about his travels across the country and what the martial arts have meant to him. So stand by. Century Martial Arts is your world leader in martial arts gear and equipment since 1976. Their online shop has a huge selection of quality martial arts supplies, martial arts uniforms and belts, and the original Wave Master freestanding bag, fitness gear, sparring equipment, and much more. Whether you're an instructor, a school owner, a new student, or an MMA professional, or just an enthusiast of the martial arts, Century has what you need to get the most out of your training. Century's martial arts catalog has a wide selection of bow staffs, chucks, mats, patches, belt displays, and more. Gain a competitive advantage and advance yourself as a martial artist by choosing the best training gear from Century Martial Arts. CenturyMartialArts.com. All right, and now our interview from July 25th, 2016, Sifu Rob Campbell. All right, Sifu Rob Campbell. How's everything in Oklahoma City? What kind of weather are you guys getting back there?
Everything's going great. It's extremely hot down here. We're probably at about 98 degrees today, but it's cooling down. Yeah, it's cooling down now.
All right.
So we're doing good.
We're getting a little hot weather out here in San Diego. Of course, it is July. You were out here just a week ago, helping us put on our International Kung Fu Sansu seminar. And we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But I'd like you to tell us how you got started in martial arts and how it's changed your life.
Well, martial arts is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always had a passion for it. And I kind of was inspired by music. I play guitar, and what I learned from guitar is that I was an artist, and it gave me confidence in a sense. And I took that going forward, and I always had a passion for martial arts, and I'd always had a kind of a tough life, and martial arts is about getting up after you're knocked down.
There you go.
Yeah, it's all about getting up, and that's something that my mom taught me.
So
And
you
so I'm sorry.
so you learned that everything is kung fu.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I knew going in that I wanted to do kung fu specifically. I didn't know what it was that pulled me towards it, but I just was patient, and then after a while, I was searching on the internet, and I found Phoenix Rising Kung Fu Sansu. I went to one of the classes, and Sifu Diane was teaching, and it was two other of her students, and I saw the movements, and I instantly fell in love. The next day, I'm sorry.
But you ended up in a good place. So you were actually under Master Ralph Latimer.
Yes, yes. The next day I had signed up, and the next day I signed up, and I was in class, and I was doing the warm up with everybody, and Master Latimer comes out, and instantly, whenever I saw him, he just has this presence about him. I instantly knew that he was the real deal. It was just a good feeling about this guy. And after class, he came over to me and he said, "Son, if you stick with me, he's like, I can help make you great in this art." And after,
Has that come true for you? And what kind of positive changes have you seen in your life?
absolutely, absolutely, through doing martial arts and through doing kung fu, it's given me confidence. It's given me a lot of self-assurance in it. I can apply that to all aspects of my life. I'm not afraid to fail at anything. I'm able to get back up. I'm able to try it again.
Now, you actually work at Century Martial Arts Supply.
Yes, sir.
That's a great company. The last time I was in Oklahoma City, helping out with one of Master Ralph's national seminars, I went to the showroom there. It's quite an impressive place. And I actually had a chance to meet the president, Paul Webb, who was at Phoenix Rising and is a serious martial artist in his own right. And he came out on the mats with me, and he was gracious enough to allow me to show him what Sansu is all about. Very interesting man.
Yes, yes. Paul Webb is definitely a great guy. I've had the opportunity to train with him as well, and he's very supportive of kung fu, and not just kung fu, but all of martial arts. And he has a genuine passion for what he does.
So has been being involved in martial arts at the level you've attained, has that helped you with your career at Century?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And the way I see it, everything is kung fu, and kung fu is achievement through effort. So whenever I go into work every day, it's achievement through effort. I do my best.
Nice, nice. Now, when you came out last week, it was on July 16th, to help us put on our international seminar, you came out with a couple of guys with a little team. Tell me about those guys.
Yes, I brought first degree black belt Emery Miller with me. He's an assistant instructor in the Phoenix Rising program right now. He's a tremendous fighter. This guy has tremendous passion, and I'd run through a brick wall for this guy, and he's very supportive of what we do. And the second guy I brought was Todai Wyatt Williams. He's a student of mine. He's a green belt. He'll be getting his brown belt pretty soon, and this guy is it's been a pleasure to train this guy and to see how Kung Fu has changed his life as well as mine. And it's a true honor to train him.
Yeah, both very fine young men, and you guys put on some spectacular, really acrobatic kung fu, the kind of stuff we only see from the young guys anymore. I know Master Latimer will agree with me that we're both very encouraged to see young men like you who have not only grown into the art, but who have taken it seriously and appreciate the great gift that we got from Jimmy Woo, and you have a real interest in preserving it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Seeing what Kung Fu's done for me, and to see, how it can change somebody's life, all I want to do is pass that forward and preserve it as it was taught to me. That's been one of my biggest goals, and it's given me great purpose going forward, I didn't know I was a kung fu man until I started, and then you start to see all the doors open.
Oh, that's great to hear. Very, very exciting to hear that from a young man like you. Now, as part of your travels recently, you were in Las Vegas for a martial arts convention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My job actually had a drawing, and they were going to send two employees who had never been out to the Super Show, and give them a chance to go out with the staff and work with them. And I was one of the lucky contestants that was able to win, and I was able to experience a lot of good things. I got to meet people. I got to learn things. It was a great environment. Like I learned a lot from it.
Now, you met a couple of famous people. You actually met Master Ken.
Yes, I did. Yes, Master Ken. What's funny about him is he never broke character. Like he came already like suited up. I mean, he didn't really say much that wasn't real serious. He was a real offbeat type of guy, and he was taking pictures with everybody, doing crazy tiger crane, poses. He's a real funny guy.
He is. I love his videos. That's Master Ken from the Meradote series of martial arts videos that are pretty easy to find on YouTube for people that aren't used to them. Now, you actually also got to meet Bill Wallace, Superfoot, from the old Professional Karate Association days, and he knew about Jimmy H. Wu. Yes,
he did. He asked what I trained in, and I told him I trained in Kung Fu Sansu, and he was like, Oh yeah, he's like, I remember. I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. He's like, I've met that. I was like, I know that guy. He's what's his name? Jimmy. I was like, Jimmy Woo. He's like, yeah. He's like, I love Jimmy. He was like, he's one of the nicest guys I ever met, and he was an incredible fighter. And I was really surprised. It was a good to hear from him. And
whoops, we lost our connection there, but we got you back now, Rob. All right, so you were telling us, finishing up your story about meeting Bill Wallace, who actually knew Jimmy H. Wu. It's always exciting to run into people from kind of far afield from our martial arts world who are famous in their own right, but they all know who Jimmy is and what he stood for.
Yes, absolutely. He instantly knew who Jimmy was as soon as I said Sansu.
Excellent. Now, are you going to come out in January for the next promotion?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
That'll be great. Now, your master, Master Ralph Latimer, is actually going to be in San Diego in the first week or so of August to teach a couple classes to our upper belts. I'm going to try to get him to do an in-studio interview and podcast right here in the cave, right here in San Diego.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
All right. Well, tell your friends at Century we really appreciate their support and sending you around the country, giving you time off to come out to us. We'll put a little plug for them right here in this podcast, and we'll look forward to seeing you and maybe your team in January.
Awesome. We look forward to it, Sifu.
All right, Sifu Rob, we love you, and thanks for being with us.
All right. Love you too. We'll talk to you later.
All right, Sifu Rob Campbell. What a fine gentleman, and what a great example of what we have to put up with here at Kung Fu Sansu Chula Vista in San Diego, the only Kung Fu Sansu association that spans 5 states and Costa Rica. Boy, are we proud of that record. Since 1979, teaching Kung Fu Sansu the way we learned it. Look for us on our website, kungfusansuchulavista.com. Keep an eye on our calendar. Watch for our national and international seminars right here in America's finest city. The American Martial Arts Podcast. I'm Rick Dinsmore.